Why in the world do my knuckles make that cracking sound? Is it even safe? Did something break? Wait, what on earth is going on here? Let the scientist explain. Let me introduce you to someone very special. A brave scientist from California by the name Dr. Donald Unger. This lovely guy right here conducted an experiment on himself for 50 straight years. Listen, this is what he did. He cracked the knuckles of his left hand twice every day for 50 years and never cracked the knuckles of his right hand. After this 50-year period, he went and took an X-ray of both his hands to see if the cracking had inflicted any damage onto his joints. And guess what? Both his hands were perfectly healthy. For those keeping track, that is about 36,500 knuckle cracks in total. For his accomplishments, the man was given the Ig Nobel Peace Prize, a parody Nobel Peace Prize that recognizes scientists who do wacky but fascinating experiments. Imagine your mom telling you not to do something and you go right ahead and do it for 50 years straight just to prove a point. This guy is something else. The human hand has about 27 individual joints. This is the reason why the hand has the easiest joints to crack. You have so many joints in your hand to give you that sweet dexterity. Some people can actually also crack the joints in their neck or in their back, hip, and even their feet. Fun fact, when babies are born, they have about 300 bones in their body. But by the time they grow to adulthood, the number of bones in their body reduces to only 206 as some of the bones fuse. Think of this as the baby's superpower. All synovial joints in the human body are made up of bones, cartilage, and the super special synovial fluid. The role of the fluid is to make sure that joints are super lubricated so that the bones don't rub on each other during movement. This fluid also has special cells that can break down all bone fragments that are formed during the motion of a joint. The synovial fluid has the consistency of an egg yolk. In addition, the synovial fluid also has dissolved gases. But wait, where do these dissolved gases inside the synovial fluid come from? Your body has about 3 liters of dissolved oxygen just hanging around in the fluids around your body. The dissolved oxygen, of course, gets into your body through your breathing. Your lungs absorb the oxygen, packages it into the hemoglobin inside your red blood cells, and just like that, your whole body has dissolved oxygen. This oxygen, that I will now just call air, is dissolved inside all fluids in your body, including the synovial fluid found between your joints. When you pull on your knuckles, as one would do when they want to crack them, the bones in the joint are pulled further apart than they usually are. This creates a region of low pressure inside the joint. The low pressure causes gases dissolved inside the synovial fluid to instantly come out of solution, creating gas bubbles. As you let go of the joint, the bones come back to their normal position and the gas bubbles instantly dissolve back into solution. The formation of these gas bubbles and the subsequent dissolving back into solution is what has been hypothesized to cause the cracking sound. Because of the viscosity of the synovial fluid, the gases don't fully dissolve back into solution until about 20 minutes. This is the reason why you cannot crack your knuckles many times in succession. This phenomena fascinated some scientists in the University of Alberta, Canada so much that they decided to do an experiment and publish their results on this paper. By the way, all my sources are linked below in case you want to get into the nitty-gritties of the topic. This scientist found a volunteer whose finger, believe it or not, would be pulled by a machine at a constant force while the volunteer was inside an MRI machine. The MRI machine would take images to see what is happening inside the joint as it's being pulled apart. I have so many questions. First, who in their right minds agreed to have their finger pulled while they lay inside an MRI machine? But kudos to the scientists because their methods are brilliant and they can be easily repeated by anyone to find out if their results are correct or not. Actually, repeatability and reproducibility are the cornerstones of scientific experiments because they enable scientists to demonstrate that their techniques can be repeated and therefore verify their results. Fascinating stuff, right? In their experiment, the scientists actually found that as the bones were pulled apart, indeed, an air bubble formed inside the synovial fluid. and they theorized that the cracking sound you hear is actually the formation of the air bubble. Follow-up experiments, however, using the acoustic signature of the cracking sound, yes, someone actually did that, contradicted the findings of the initial experiments, stating that the cracking sound happens as the gases dissolve back into solution. They also stated that the MRI machine does not have a high enough frame rate to differentiate between the formation and the dissolution of the gas bubble inside the synovial fluid in the joint. An MRI machine, FYI, records at about 10 frames per second, meaning that it takes about 310 milliseconds. However, the formation and dissolution of the gas bubble has been estimated to take as short as 5 milliseconds. Clearly, this is an area of future research. Isn't it amazing that everyday simple questions need hundreds of experiments and many years of research to answer? Oh, by the way, did I tell you that the dissociation of gas bubbles out of solution is called cavitation? You can even explore cavitation on your own at home. Here is a fun experiment you can do. Fill an empty syringe with water, preferably colored water, so that you can see this clearly. Then push out all the air out of the barrel of the syringe, cover the end with a finger, and then pull the plunger as hard as you can. Did you just see that? Where did the bubbles of air come from? Welcome to the wonderful world of cavitation. At normal atmospheric pressure, gases are dissolved in water. These gases are kept dissolved in water because of atmospheric pressure. When you put the water inside a syringe and then pull the plunger, you lower the pressure inside the syringe to below atmospheric pressure. The pressure difference causes the air inside the water to suddenly come out of solution. This is what is called cavitation. If you let the syringe plunger go, you will instantly hear a sound as the air dissolves back into the water instantly. Super interesting. All this talk about cavitation reminded me of the mantis shrimp. This cute little creature that lives in the ocean has a deadly claw. For it to get its food, it needs to use the claw to crack the shells of the animals that it eats. The claw is so powerful that it has an acceleration of about 23 meters per second. That is as fast as a bullet from a .22 caliber gun. When it hits its prey, it produces about 10,400 Gs of force. The impact is so powerful that it does not just produce cavitation, but it produces super cavitation. Oh yeah, not cavitation, super cavitation. As the claw impacts its prey, a bubble is instantly formed at the site of impact because of the sudden drop of pressure. The pressure drop is so extreme that water instantly changes from liquid to vapor. And for a split second, as the super cavitation bubble collapses, it produces light and temperatures as high as the surface of the sun. Now back to knuckle cracking. First, a quick disclaimer.
The silly guy hosting is not a medically trained professional. Everything he says is sourced from peer-reviewed medical papers linked below. The video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. He shall not be liable for any broken knuckles. Thanks.
Lawyers, you can take back your seats now. Medical research has found that cracking your knuckles does not cause any adverse medical effects. In fact, 25 to 50% of people admit to cracking their knuckles every single day. The only negative effects that have been recorded are a reduction in grip strength and slight swelling. Some people describe the sensation of cracking their knuckles as satisfying because the cracking relieves tension in the joint, making the joint more flexible. Some people, like me, actually have a hard time trying to crack my knuckles. I guess it's because it's not really a habit that I formed. The only danger of cracking your knuckles is annoying the people around you because some people find it annoying or slightly uncomfortable. But whatever it is, keep cracking on. If you feel I left out something or maybe I mispronounced something, please let me have it in the comment section. Tell me all about how you think I am wrong. Hey, thank you for coming along. Thank you for liking and hitting that sub button. It really helps me to fall deeper in love with the algorithm. Did you know that all your maps are wrong? I made a whole video about it. Click on the pop-up banner to find out more. This has been The African Scientist, science from an African perspective.